And we're going to just bring those knees back up to the center, drawing them in towards the chest. We're going to wrap our hands around. As you inhale, you're going to scrunch up your forehead all the way into your knees, scrunching as tight as you possibly can. As you exhale, you're going to take the neck down, keep hold of those legs, and we're gently just going to rock left to right, loosening off the back area. So this whole session, you're just going to mobilize each of the different body parts, stretch out anything that feels like it needs to. You've got freedom to sort of move your body however it feels like it needs to move. So if you need to stay in a position slightly longer, do so. If you need to adjust anything at any point, do so too. And then we're going to grab hold of those knees. We're going to draw big circles with the knees, so opposite ways. So you bring them in, take them out like so, keeping the toes together. So we're just encouraging the hips to warm up here. As you inhale, you're moving one direction. As you exhale, you're moving another. Good, and changing direction with the knees. Moving nice and slowly, like you're in slow motion. Good, and then bringing the soles of the feet together. We're going to point those toes down, stretching out the forearms and the groin. So you're supporting your ankles, palms facing upwards. Take a lovely deep breath in, and we're slowly just going to rotate the neck left to right. So we're just feeling it across the sides of the neck. And then on the next inhale, bringing those knees back to the center. We're going to grab hold of the back of the knees, and this time we're going to just rock forwards and back. Make sure you do get a few rocks in so you give that spine a lovely little bit of attention, lovely little massage. And we're going to come to a seated position. Going to keep the feet where they are. You're going to push your bum back until you've sort of got, what sort of angle would that be? Not 90 degrees, but less than that, not quite flat. And I want you to bring your toes up, grabbing hold of the side of the legs. You're going to drop those elbows down, drop that head down. You should be able to feel this in the back, in the neck. And you're collapsing that chest down on those thighs. And I want you to pretend your head is the heaviest part of your body right now. So make it really heavy to feel that stretch. And then slowly bringing the head up. You're going to tiptoe the hands to meet your tailbone behind you like so. You're going to remove the fleshy part of your behind out of the way. And we're going to take a deep breath in. Take your gaze up to your thumbs. And imagine somebody's pulling your wrist, so you're making this bit really long. And then we're going to take our right hand down, stretch over that side. Engage those knees, so you want to be engaging these muscles here to keep you nice and stable. And deep breath in, take those hands back up to the top. As you exhale, coming over to the other side. Oh, that's the side. Keeping the shoulders stacked, nice strong core. And finding those hands back up to the top. This time we're going to do a bit more of a spine manipulation twist. So, you're going to take the right hand down. Left hand's going to come onto about the left thigh, right thigh, sorry. And you're going to pull through with the chest. So you're keeping a nice straight back. Keeping the shoulders here. So we're twisting the upper back. And deep breath in. As you breathe out, coming over to that other side, keep that spine nice and straight. Take the gaze over the left shoulder. Tell you what, this fire on is lovely. It's keeping me nice and toasty. And deep breath in. Taking the hands out. A few chest openers. So I want you to sweep, Coming up, opening up the chest in your own time. So don't feel like you need to rush it if you don't want to. So you breathe in, sweep all the way up, open up that chest, lift that chin. See how much of the movement you can do as you inhale. So real deep inhale. So breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And exhale, open up that chest. Last one. Encouraging the hamstrings. Good. And then coming back, just giving those shoulders a bit of a shrug. You might find one after the other, like so feels good, or both at the same time. And change direction. We're not going to spend too long doing this. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to meet in tabletop. So, knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. I'll show you side on so you see a little bit better of what I'm doing. I'm going to get those wrists warmed up to start. So I want you to find core engagement, nice straight back. Fingers are parallel, and we're going to come over those wrists. Keep that core engaged. So with the core engagement, that means the belly button sucks in towards the spine. Well done. Let's give those wrists some loving. And change direction. So you're trying to play around with your weight distribution on your hands. Really encouraging them to strengthen. Keeping that thumb engaged with the ground too. Good, and then fingertips pointing away from each other. So you've got your hands like this. Exactly the same position underneath the shoulders. We're going to rock left to right. Just coming back to that breath. If you do lose sight of it, just keep it in mind. And then we're going to untuck our toes so that every single toe is connected with the ground. We're going to push back, tiptoe the hands in, stretch out those feet. Oh, make sure every single toe is connected down. This is a little bit of a sore one for me today, but very important. We never stretch out our feet and we use them every day. Just allow your shoulders to become heavy. You may want to close your eyes just for a moment. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, push your weight forward. You're going to tap those feet out. Last bit of the wrists, we're going to slightly bring the hands in a little bit closer. I'm just going to lean back, straightening out the forearms. Good. Sitting back, keeping the wrist on the floor. So if your wrists are starting to lift, just push up a little bit more. Last deep breath in. Good. And then taking them back, we're going to flip them upside down. A wrist strengthening exercise. So your fingertips are pointing towards each other. This might be a little bit sore for a few of you, so don't put too much weight on too soon. We're going to make big fists. So we're going to scrunch our hands up, squeeze, 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 and release. So breathe in, squeeze. Try and keep those arms straight. Exhale, release. This is a great wrist strengthening exercise. Good. Last few. Breathe in, squeeze those fists. Last one. Good. And sit back. Shake off those wrists. We're going to do some nice shooting stars. So fluttering the hands together, coming up above the head, and back down. And then adding in some wrist rotations. Don't worry if it feels a bit sore. You've just moved it in a different way to what you're used to, so it's perfectly normal. Good. Coming back into that tabletop position, we're going to get deep into those hips. So untuck those toes, lift up that tailbone, downward facing dog. And we're going to just start to march out the heels, first downward facing dog of the day. Just feeling that lovely stretch down the legs. Just focusing, good. Deep breath in, we're going to roll that body forward, drop the knees down, push the bum to meet the heels, child's pose, everyone's favourite stretch. Want you to let your arms come down the sides of your body, chin or your forehead on the ground. Take a deep breath here. It's one of the most calming positions that you can do, so enjoy it. Great back stretch. Deep breath in, deep breaths out. And then keeping the head where it is, you're just going to bring those hands back to where they were originally. And then you're going to crawl both of them over to that left-hand side. So this is a great side stretch. You'll feel this all down these intercostal muscles here. So your rib cage, keep the forehead down, pull through that side. And then keeping the head down, we're going to crawl those hands over to the other side, give that some tension down. You may find that you are tighter on one side than the other. Say this every single time we do a stretch class, that everyone is so unique and different that we will always have dominant sides, stronger sides, less flexible sides. It's about identifying them, giving them some love, giving them some attention, and improving yourselves. Do a deep breath in. Slowly bringing those hands back to the centre. We're going to roll up, drop the hips down, up and facing dog. Take a deep breath in, roll those shoulders back. If it feels better to do so, you might feel like you want to do a little bit of a rotation, looking over to the left. Be mindful of your lower back, squeezing those glutes just to protect it. If it's feeling a little bit dodgy, you can always come down onto the forearms, stretching up in cobra. Last deep breath here. We're going to untuck those toes, come up onto the knees, push it back into that downward facing dog. I'm going to do a slightly shorter downward facing dog, so I just want you to take about half a foot step in, bend those knees, lift that tailbone up, trying to get those heels down on the ground. So this is a shorter version of the downward facing dog, and you're trying to make yourself as long as you can from the tip of your finger to your tailbone. So really lift that tailbone, drop that chin down, and breathe. Deep breath in, nodding the head for yes, shaking it for no, releasing the tension in the neck. And then we're slowly just going to take that step back into our normal downward facing dog. We're going to take a deep breath in, push that left leg up to the sky, open up the hips. So you're just feeling it across those hips now. And then very slowly we're going to bring that knee in all the way into this high lunge position. Don't worry if you need to come down on the knee to get there. If you can, we're here with that leg. Drop the hips down, you'll feel this across the hip flexors. Don't worry if you have to modify it, so you start on the knee like this. Keep those hips square. Good, well done. And then dropping that back knee down, keeping this foot where it is, you're just going to slowly push this knee away. Be careful with this one. If it feels like it's not moving, don't force it, just gently guide it. Just encouraging deep into those hips. And then slowly pushing back on the hands. You're going to just slightly bring in that foot so you square yourself up because we were slightly out. From this position here, we're really going deep into those hips. So we're going to take a deep breath in, push down, keeping those hips square. Core engagement. Lift as you inhale, as you exhale, see if you can sink those hips down ever so slightly. So breathe in, fill, exhale, lower. Taking this hand round, we're going to open up the chest. So your opposite hand goes on that knee, raise that hand behind you. Any tightness you've got in your upper back, this will expose now. So use that leg as a lever. And slowly bringing the hands back down. Last bit we're going to do on this leg, we're going to tiptoe that foot to the outside of the other side, drop it down into pigeon pose. This might be enough of a stretch for you today, however, if you do want to increase it, you're just going to come down onto those elbows, drop the head down, upper body's going to go nice and heavy. Just getting into that breath. Yeah, well done everyone. Just finding your moment and your breath right here. Feeling this lovely stretch across the glute area. Every time you breathe out, just allowing to send your attention there to release. Good. Take a deep breath in. If you're down on your elbows, you're going to just push up onto those hands. We're going to untuck that toe, push that body weight back, downward facing dog. Just marching up the heels, noticing how your body's feeling now on that left hand side. Should be feeling nice and loose and warm. We're going to flip our attention over to that other side. So we're going to take a deep breath in, draw in that foot, push that leg away, open up the hips, take the heel down towards the bum. So it's not about a straight leg, it's about opening up those hips. Keeping those hands gripping into the ground, holding the stretch, engaging that knee. It's quite hard to talk upside down. Good, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, you're very slowly going to bring that knee, draw it in, engage the core, take that foot to the outside of those hands, drop the chest down, the hips down. Again, you might want to drop that back knee down if it's a little bit too much, or you're up like so. Well done. Nice, slow breathing. And then slowly bringing that back, heel down, knee down, not heel, knee. We're going to slowly encourage that deepened hip activation just by pushing slowly this knee away from us. Just nice slow movements, being gentle with our body, treating it with love, kindness and respect. And then bringing the hands back down, you're just going to use them to push up. Just the feet ever so slightly so your hips are square. Coming up nice and tall and proud. We're going to lift that opposite hand up, drop the hips down, ensuring that our knee isn't going beyond our toe. So if it is, just take your foot ever so slightly further away from you and drop. Well done. Remember, we're filling that chest, lifting that gaze, really wanting to encourage all this opening around the chest region. Taking that hand over to that opposite side, opening up that back hand so your hand is in line with your shoulders, taking the gaze to meet your thumb. Smiling as well, that's it. Well done, guys. Deep breaths in And as you breathe out, panning that hand back around with control. The last stretch we're going to do as part of this sequence, we'll take that foot over, drop that knee down, pigeon. If you've got dodgy knees, you're going to take that foot so it's underneath your hips, like so. If this is enough of a stretch, you're going to chill here. If you want to go above and beyond, test out your flexibility, coming down onto the elbows, like so. Dropping the forehead down, submitting to this pose. So you want to just completely let go of any tension anywhere else in your body. Just bringing your attention back to this class. Good. And if you're down on your elbows, you're going to come meet me back up on your wrists. Taking a deep breath in, we're going to untuck that back toe, shoot that body weight back, downward facing dog. Good, and then we're just going to raise up those heels, squeeze up at the top, and lower together. So instead of paddling, we're just mobilizing those ankles and feet together. And we're going to tiptoe those toes in to meet the hands. We're going to push up, halfway look up like so, straighten out those backs. As you exhale, you're going to completely make your upper body heavy. So I want to see it jiggling around like it's not attached to your body. So make it really heavy, gently moving left to right, bobbing the head, releasing the jaw. And from here, we're going to take our right hand, place it underneath the right heel. And we're going to do the same on the left hand side. And we're going to sit and straighten like so. So we're just encouraging a different sort of stretch. You're going to feel tension of your hamstrings. Don't worry if your balance is a little bit off. Make sure as you inhale, you lift your chin to look up. As you exhale, you tuck your chin in to look beyond your legs. Last few. Straighten those legs up as much as you can. Good. And slowly releasing the hands. We're going to bend our knees, place the hands on the hips. Roll up to the top. Give the legs a little shake, give the hips a little shake. Going to come to the front of your mat. I'm just going to move my back again. My camera angle is not on point today. We're going to take a deep breath in. Take the hands up above your head. As you exhale, you're going to take a big step back, dropping it down, opening up the hips this time. We're going to take the hands out. I'm just going to feel the stretch in a different region across here. Then into that knee, open up. And you can just move your upper body to just mobilize this bit here. Looks like you're surfing. And now that we've encouraged this movement, you're going to take the same hand, bring it down towards the toe. Okay? Don't worry if you can't quite touch the ground. You come up and do fingertips. If you can get your whole hand on the ground, Lovely stuff, guys. Looking really elegant and beautiful, all of you. Keep it up. And whenever you're ready, pushing back up to this center point, where we're going to cross our hands. Imagine they're like weights, just encouraging ever so slight movements like so. And you're going to unpeel, take your hands behind you, straighten out those arms. Be careful not to overdo it into a front roll. I have done that before. Just keep it there. Shake the head again. Tiptoeing back up to the top. Bring in the feet a little bit closer together. Hands are going to go on the hips. Bend the knees, rolling up to the top. Last few stretches we're going to do, guys, we're going to do a little bit on the calves and a little bit more on the upper body. So take your right foot all the way across and like so. So your toes, if you look down now, your big toes are in line. From here, we're going to hinge at the hips. So we push up arm back, keep the core engaged, come down until you feel it in the back of the back leg. So the back leg's straight. The front leg, it doesn't matter if it's straight or bent. You might be able to come all the way down, or you might be here so you can use a wall to help you if you need a bit more balance support. Take a deep breath in, really feel that lovely stretch on the back of the leg. And we're going to slowly roll up to the top, keep the legs as they are. If your right leg is above like so, you're going to come over with that right arm straight, stretch up the side, glutes engaged. Good, and slowly up, changing over to the other side. So left leg in front, hinging at the hips, coming down, pushing that back leg away, drop that head. Taking a deep breath in. And whenever you're ready, grabbing hold of those hips, rolling up to the top. Keeping those legs as they are, we're going to come up and over with that arm. I'll just shape it a little bit at the back. Glutes engaged, shoulders stacked, but not cutting off our beautiful faces from being viewed. And slowly coming out. Giving the legs a good old shake off. Last bit we're going to do, guys, just a little bit more on the chest and the shoulders. So you're just going to grab hold of your hands behind you, release that index finger, push the arms away, lift the chin. If this is feeling okay and you want to deepen it, you can bend the knees, another head banging move, and come down. Keep the palms together. Slowly bending the knees to roll up to the top. We're going to release those hands, bring them together and turn them inside out. So wrists are in line with the shoulders. You're going to round your chin, push away. Breathe in, roll them back. So you push. Manipulating that spine. And then keeping the hands as they are, we're going to bring them all the way up on top of our head, just wiggling the rib cage. Keep the legs still, wiggle that rib cage. And we're going to slowly bring them down by our side, feet together, knees together, keeping the hands really heavy beside us. Drop the shoulders down, and we're going to just close the eyes. Take a deep breath all together. Just keeping them closed for a moment, just doing a quick body scan. What's feeling good, what's feeling fired up, what's feeling loosened? Do you feel more relaxed after this class than what you did do potentially beforehand. Just noticing all the sensations that are kickstarting in your body right now. And we're just going to take a moment of peace right here, enjoying this lovely bank holiday, last bank holiday of the year. What a way to spend it. And a lovely stretch class here with me today, so thank you everyone for joining me. Just gently getting a bit of motion back into the wrists, back into the shoulders. Slowly bringing the neck to some neck circles. And slowly flickering the eyes open if you haven't done so already. Thank you ever so much for joining me, everyone. Right, let's